7-star Charizard Tera Raid battles are super difficult in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Luckily, I've got you covered with the top 10 Pokemon that you can use as main attacking roles and even support roles. Welcome back everyone, it's Abdallah here with even more Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet tips and tricks tutorial videos. The Charizard Raid event is coming back, and I've got tons of Pokemon that will help you out. I've selected 10 Pokemon for you that you guys can use in attacking roles in order to sweep on your own, or if you guys are playing in groups, I've got a couple Pokemon that'll help you out with this support role, which will help aid those sweepers completely knock out Charizard. I've got all of the EVs, I've got the abilities, the entire movesets, everything is here for you so that you guys can replicate it at home and become heroes. So anyway, thank you guys so much for enjoying the video. It took me a while to EV train every single one of these, so if the video helped you out, be sure to smash that like button and share the video with a friend. Now, before we get started, I do want to make sure that you guys understand how to gain massive amounts of experience in the game. So if you haven't already seen my video showcasing how to get massive experience to level up your Pokemon super easily, go check that out. And then of course, if you didn't already take a look at how to EV train your Pokemon, make sure that you do that as well. EV training and hyper training are guides that you're going to need to use to make your Pokemon super strong. All right, let's start off with top 10 tips that you guys are going to need to know before going into the Charizard raids. Alright, starting off with top 10 tips for the Charizard raids. Now, in order to find your own 7-star raids, you'll need to beat the post-game Ace Academy tournament, then complete a handful of 5-star raids to unlock 6-star raids by receiving a phone call from Jacques explaining all about 6-star raids. Then connect to the internet during the event and find your single 7-star Dragon raid den. Our second tip is Charizard is at level 100, so bring your strongest Pokemon. Use my easy experience tutorial to learn how to raise your Pokemon to level 100. And don't forget to EV train and hyper train them also, because you're going to need their stats as strong as possible. Number 3 on our list is remembering that Charizard's defensive typing is Dragon, which is weak against Fairy, Dragon, and Ice attacks. Charizard keeps his offensive Fire and Flying moveset and uses moves like Overheat, Fire Blast, and Hurricane, so don't bring any Pokemon that are weak to those moves. Now, Charizard is susceptible to debuffs at the beginning of the match before his shield is up, so ensure that you can squeeze in some fake tears in order to lower special defense, or Screech to lower physical defense. All of these debuffs last the entire match, so prioritize getting them in first. Number 5 on our list is teaching you that when Charizard's shield is up, you can't use any status moves or debuffs against his stats, so keep that in mind and don't waste any turns. Now be careful with boosting up too much at the beginning, as Charizard will clear all of your stats after a while with one big wipe. After doing 3 attacks on Charizard, your Pokemon will be able to Terrastalize and deal more damage to Charizard's shield. Make sure that you keep your Pokemon healthy, as you can only Terrastalize once per match. Now, if your Pokemon isn't doing as much damage in the raid, put your controller down and let the main attacker of the party do the work. Every time you attack or cheer, Charizard gets an attack on your Pokemon and can potentially knock it out, thus wasting precious time for the whole team. Don't be a liability to the entire team, and put that controller down if you can't attack or contribute. Keep in mind that you only get one Charizard to catch, so make sure that you choose your Pokeball wisely. Let me know which ball you ended up using in the replies. After beating a Charizard raid, you can change your Nintendo Switch the next day and search for another one. Simply go to your system settings and scroll your day one day forward and then reopen. Okay, our first Pokemon on the list is going to be Flutter main. This Pokemon is exclusive to Pokemon Scarlet and is available right around the end of the game. So anyway, I'm going to show you guys the moveset that we have over here with our Flutter main so that you guys can replicate this at home. Right over here, Flutter main is going to be holding on to either a Covert Cloak, which disables all the additional effects of moves, such as the confusion off of Hurricane, or you guys can use Shell Bell, which will allow Flutter main to get even more of its HP back every time it uses an attack. Now, the great thing about this is going to be finding a Flutter main with the Fairy Tera typing, because that's exactly how you're going to want to be on the offensive once it's time to Terrastalize. Right over here, as you guys can see, Flutter main has an amazing 400 special attack stat if you invest it all the way EV trained in special attack, and right over here I EV trained it maxed out in HP as well. So 252 special attack, 252 HP. The ability honestly is going to be the exact same thing. Photosynthesis doesn't matter. But as you guys can see right over here, this is the moveset. It's going to be Moonblast for all of your basic damage. You can use fake tears within the first couple turns in order to lower his special defensive stat. You can use Draining Kiss in order to get even more HP back, and then Calm Mind in order to boost your own special attack stat. Now, as you guys can see over here with the little arrows on screen, this is going to be a modest nature. So make yourself a Flutter main, hyper train it, and you're going to be good to go. Our next Pokemon on the list is going to be Sylveon. Sylveon is an amazing Pokemon, and you can get a Tera Wild Sylveon very easily within the game. So simply put, if you guys are curious as to where to get one that's ready to go, all you have to do is go all the way up top, right over here to the North Province area. You'll be able to see this little path right over this way, and Sylveon is going to be right over there waiting for you. Anyway, so Sylveon's moveset is going to be as follows. This is going to be super fun, and if you have an ability patch, this offensive Sylveon is going to be great. Alright, so with this one right over here, I'm using the Expert Belt simply because it gives a 20% damage boost to anything that's super effective, and that's going to be really good for Sylveon. You can also use Shell Bell in order to get your HP back every time you use an attack. Now, I mentioned earlier about the ability patch. You're going to need the hidden ability for this Sylveon in order to get Pixelate, and what that does is it turns all the normal type moves into fairy type moves and makes them even stronger. Now, with that being said, if you're curious of how to build your Sylveon, you'll notice over here that Sylveon has a max special attack at 350, and of course a max HP all the way over there. That's exactly how I EV trained this particular Pokemon, and you can see that it's going to be boosting in the special attack and then minus in the attack, which is just the modest nature. So you guys are all set with that. Now, the moveset is going to be varied, but this one will actually work for you. You can do Calm Mind right off the bat to boost your stats. You're going to be using Hyper Beam on this set, which is going to be so super strong, simply because that's 150 base power stab. You guys calculate it, it's going to be huge. If you guys don't want to run Hyper Beam and try to risk the one-hit KO, you can also use Hyper Voice. And Draining Kiss is going to be there in order to get your HP back. And then, of course, using Fake Tears at the very first 3 turns is going to help you with lowering Charizard's base special defensive stat for the entire battle. Yeah, Sylveon is going to be amazing for you. Alright, our next Pokemon on the list is going to be none other than Azumarill. Now, this Pokemon is going to be really easy, obtainable, and very strong, especially if you get the right support. So anyway, head on over to the Castle Royal Lake, come right over here around this little island here, and you'll find a Tera Wild Azumarill. Just make sure that it has 2 things, because otherwise if the Azumarill doesn't have these 2 key ingredients, it's not going to be good enough. The first thing you'll want is the Tera type to be Fairy. And then also you want the ability to be Huge Power. Those are the 2 main things that makes this Pokemon very, very strong. The item that I'm going to give it is going to be Shell Bell, which gives you HP back every time you attack. And that's going to be great for sustainability. You'll also see over here that these are the stats that it has at level 100. What I did was I maxed out its attack stat in EV training attack and HP for survivability, and I gave it the adamant nature. Very simple. So the Huge Power ability boosts his attack stat from 218 to physically, wow, 436. Very, very strong. Anyway, taking a look at the moveset over here, Light Screen is great for supporting the entire team, and it allows you to take less damage from Charizard. Belly Drum is going to be the main weapon of this entire set, because you want to be able to reduce your HP by half, and then max out your attack stat so that you can continuously use Play Rough and get all your HP back. If your Azumarill does get knocked out, you can always come right back into battle and use Helping Hand to the other Pokemon that may not have been, and you could kind of turn into a support role. Now, if you guys are curious about how to get Belly Drum on Azumarill, what you'll have to do is you'll have to go over to Change Moves, you'll go over to Forget a Move, and then just give one of the, get rid of one of his moves so he only has 3. Take a Pokemon that currently knows Belly Drum, like Hariyama, and then make sure that those are the only 2 Pokemon in your party. Give Azumarill a Mirror Herb, open up a picnic, and then close the picnic. They'll manually already have your very awesome belly drum. So anyway, Azumarill, really awesome. Have a great time with it. Just watch out whenever you do your HP down with belly drum. Make sure you get that HP right back up, or else you'll be a liability for the team. Alright, our fourth Pokemon on the list is going to be none other than Gardevoir. This fan favorite Pokemon will be dealing out a lot of fairy damage as an offensive powerhouse. Alright, let's take a look at what our Gardevoir should know in order to be very offensive. The first thing you want is the ability that has the Tera typing of Fairy. Now, odds are when you catch a Ralts or a Gardevoir, it's going to be 50-50 split, so make sure you guys keep that in mind. We want the Fairy Tera type to deal massive damage. The item that we're going to be using is Shell Bell over here in order to get your HP back. Taking a look at the way that we train this is none other than all max special attack and max HP with a modest nature. And by doing that, you'll be able to get 383 special attack and 340 HP, so that you have a lot more survivability. The ability on Gardevoir can be Trace. Honestly, it doesn't really matter what you have. It's not dependent on that at all. Right over this way, you'll see what the moveset is really all about. You can start off by doing a light screen in case no one else is doing it, so that you mitigate all the special attacks coming your way. Then you can proceed to Calm Mind up. You can boost all of your special attack stats even further. Just don't get too greedy, because he'll end up wiping those buffs. You can use Moonblast in order to continuously do damage, and then in the event that you get knocked out or there's another Pokemon that's a lot stronger than you, you can use Helping Hand in order to boost that Pokemon there. Yeah, Gardevoir is really awesome. I absolutely love her set. You can also use Gardevoir as support. It has access to Life Dew and some other defensive stuff. So if you don't want to go offensive, you can try a defensive build too. All right, our fifth Pokemon on the list is none other than Grimmsnarl. Yeah, he's actually really underrated, and building out a Grimmsnarl is going to be an investment not just for Charizard, but playing attack and support at the same time. He's actually awesome. Let's take a look at him. So this one's going to be more of an offensive based that can also protect as well. What you can see over here, that the Tera type is going to be none other than Fairy. The item of choice is going to be Shell Bell, so that you can get all of your HP back. Right over here, the way that I have raised him was going to be max physical attack and max HP with the Adamant nature. So that's going to give you 372 attack and 394 HP respectively. If you take a look at his ability, that's going to be the main reason why I love using him, is because it's Prankster. It allows you to use all your status move and non-attacking moves first before Charizard can even attack you. So that's awesome. Let's take a look at his moves right over this way. Now, you can use the fake tiers if you see some other Pokemon like Gardevoir, like Flutter main, any special attackers, you can start using fake tiers in order to buff up the attacks from your partners over that way. That is amazing. You can also go ahead and protect the entire team with Light Screen, which mitigates all the special attacks. Right over here, in case there's other Pokemon outside of Charizard that like to use like Yawn or anything else, you can use Taunt on them so that they don't yawn and put your entire team to sleep. I'm looking at you, Clodsire. And then last but not least is going to be your main attacking move. It's really great because Spirit Break is not only strong and physical, but it lowers the target's special attack stat. And since Charizard is a special attacker, that's going to naturally debuff him and save your entire team. So yeah, I really like Grimmsnarl. He is amazing. So make sure that you get one of these and build him out accordingly. Hey guys, we're at the halfway point of the video. Thank you so much for enjoying it. Now, if you guys enjoyed what you're seeing over here and you're getting some ideas of which Pokemon to use, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Hey, you know what? If you guys hit that like button and subscribe, I'll give you 2 additional Pokemon builds at the very end of the video. What do you guys say? Is that great? Turn this top 10 into like a top 12? Why not have more options? Anyway, you guys know what to do. Yes, this is Dachsbun. Now, he's not the absolute best when it comes to this raid, but he's actually kind of cute, and he gets a runner-up mention. So let's take a look at our Dachsbun right over this way. This is my level 100 Dachsbun with a Shell Bell, of course, because if you're going on offense, you want sustainability and getting your health back. Really awesome. Now, the main reason why you want to use Dachsbun is because not only is he fairy typing, so he resists the Dragon Tera type move that's coming out, but he's also got Well-Baked Body, which allows him to absorb all the fire type attacks without taking any damage. So he's really only susceptible to the hurricanes that come at you. So that's going to be pretty awesome. If you take a look at his stats over this way, I raised him in max attack and then max HP with an Adamant nature. So, I mean, he gets up to 284 attack. It's not the strongest. And the survivability is not that great either. But runner-up had to include him. Now, taking a look at his moveset, it's really not that great. The only thing that you can do is you can use Work Up a couple times in order to boost your attack stat by 1 stage every time you use it. Again, not the best. And then you can proceed to use Play Rough in order to just continuously do damage. If you get knocked out or you feel like not really attacking and there's some stronger Pokemon on the field, you can use Helping Hand. And if you want to act as a, I don't know, maybe a support staff, you can use Snarl, and then that would lower Charizard's special attack stat every time you use that. So, pretty interesting Pokemon. I mean, he has some varied mixed results. You can give him a Choice Band if you really wanted to instead of a Shell Bell and just press the A button for Play Rough. You give an Expert Belt. You can give him a whole bunch of different things, just like all the other attackers here. But anyway, I wanted to include him. So now that you guys know a couple of Pokemon that are going to be attackers in the game, let's actually switch gears and talk about support roles. Now, when you have 4 people on a team, it's inevitable that everyone wants to just press the A button and attack, right? But if you want to be really big brain and actually save your entire team and help them out, support is where it's at. I'm going to start off with Umbreon here. Umbreon, one of the best supporters in the game, and building one of these will help you out in the future simply because of how versatile it is. Anyway, let's take a look right over here. Now, with all of our supporters, I'm going to give them leftovers because that's just the way that you can continuously get health every single turn. You're not going to be attacking, you're going to be supporting your team. Anyway, right over here, Umbreon is going to be maxed out with HP and special defense for this particular battle, simply because Charizard only uses special attacks. By doing so, we can get up to 394 special defense and 394 HP. Very, very bulky. Now, taking a look at the ability, I gave it Inner Focus, which is going to be, it doesn't really matter what ability you take on him. Anyway, get that if you can. Right over this way. This is why Umbreon is so amazing. So depending on who your partners are on the field, if you have Azumarill, if you have Grimmsnarl, those are physical attackers. You want to help them out with doing 3 Screech's first turns, just because that would lower all of Charizard's defensive stats. Now, if you notice that your teammates are special attackers, like Flutter main, Gardevoir, you can use Fake Tears, which lowers Charizard's special defensive stats by 2 stages. Right over here is a Helping Hand, because that's exactly what you want to do. Wherever your attackers are, give them a Helping Hand, and you can start off your entire match by using Light Screen in order to protect your entire team from all of Charizard's special attacking moves. Now, again, like I said, having the ability to learn Screech and Fake Tears in one moveset makes for an incredible support Pokemon. So get yourself an Umbreon and play some support. Next up on our list of support Pokemon is none other than Screamtail. Now, you don't see a lot of people using this Pokemon for the Charizard raids, and that's why I'm so excited to debut it over here. Man, Screamtail has a very, very awesome HP stat and special defensive stat, and it's a fairy typing. Really awesome on defense. Of course, we're going to go with leftovers over here. If you take a look at its stats, oh man, let's talk about this. We're going to EV train it fully in special defense and fully in HP over here. You'll notice that we're choosing a nature that boosts its special defense and goes with the minus attack. Yeah, that's going to be a calm nature. So, pretty decent. Umbreon, we did a careful nature on that one, in case I didn't mention that. So anyway, you guys can see the little arrows over there of what natures that we're using. Okay, so what I really like about this Pokemon is not only because we can EV train it in those, but taking a look at the monstrous 434 HP stat and 361 defensive stat, man, you're going to be surviving everything. Let's take a look at the moves over here. Dazzling Gleam is just for basic attacks. You're not going to be using this Pokemon to do any kinds of attacks, but you might as well have something. Light Screen is going to be available first turn. That's exactly what you want to do. And then if you also see different Pokemon that are special attackers on your team, you can use Fake Tears and debuff Charizard 3 times, and he's going to be super weak. And then likewise, as you know, using Helping Hand to boost out your Flutter main and your Gardevoir, all your special attackers, is going to be amazing while surviving along the way. Man, I love this, and I can't wait to see you guys use this Pokemon in battle. Alright, number 9 on our list is none other than Blissey over here. Yeah, believe it or not, Blissey's massive special defensive stat and massive HP stat makes Blissey an amazing support Pokemon, and a healer too. Anyway, let's take a look at Blissey right over this way. So Blissey naturally going to be using leftovers to get even more HP every single turn, and if you take a look at its graph, it's literally off the charts as far as HP goes. This is the biggest HP stat in the entire game at 714. Special defense is at 405. So you guys thought that Scream Tail was good? Holy moly, this thing's huge. So you can see that I did max HP, max special defense. With Blissey, we did a calm nature, and this thing is amazing. We have the ability healer over here, so you can use that if you want. Honestly, the ability doesn't matter. What you're going to be doing with Blissey is setting up a light screen first turn to make sure that everyone is protected from the attacks, and then you can pretty much go through and use Heal Pulse. Now this gives HP to whoever you choose, so it's kind of like using a Heal Cheer, but you can do it infinitely on whoever target. So if you notice that you have a Flutter main that's trying to set up, or an Azumarill that's using Belly Drum, you want to be able to use that Heal Pulse on them right away. Other than that, you've got Helping Hand, which is going to be the remaining of your turns, as you can do that. And if your HP gets super low for any reason, random crits or anything like that, you can use Soft Boil to get your HP right back up. So yeah, Blissey is going to be amazing support and a healer for the entire team. Just watch out because this particular build doesn't have any attacks on it. So if you run into any other Pokemon that like no taunt, you may be taunt bait. So you can change this up to maybe a Serene Grace ability with like Ice Beam or something like that. Anyway, there's lots of options. This is the main support build for you for Blissey. And number 10 on our list over here is none other than Oranguru. Man, this Pokemon is so good on support, I can't even talk about it. Really, you need to build one of these 100%, because he's not only good against Charizard, he's good against literally everyone with the support role. Anyway, let's take a look at Oranguru over here. Your item's going to be leftovers, and your EV training set is going to be max HP and max special defense with the calm or careful nature. It honestly doesn't matter. Ability doesn't matter either as far as inner focus or anything like that. The main set and the main reason why you want to use this Pokemon is Instruct. Oh my gosh. So what Instruct does is instead of the Oranguru using his attack, he's going to instruct anyone that you choose on the battlefield to use their attack again. So if you have an Azumarill that just used a maxed out Play Rough, or if you have a Flutter main that used a maxed out Moonblast, they're going to be able to use that again. Like literally they had 2 turns to use it because you're just giving up your entire attack. Very awesome. Anyway, right over here, Taunt is going to be great for those Pokemon that are pesky and they try to like T-Wave you or put you to sleep, like Clodsire. Reflect is going to be great for anyone outside of Charizard that use physical attacks. And for Charizard, I would say using Light Screen first turn would be perfect. So proceed to Light Screen first turn and then just instruct all of those stronger attackers that are using their moves. It's going to be so fun. Yeah, get Oranguru. He's pretty bulky with special defense at 350, and 384 HP is nothing to scoff about. Okay, since you guys are so awesome and you all hit that subscribe button and smash the like button, we're going to give you 2 additional Pokemon. Of course, it's a top 10, but hey, why not give you guys a little bit of extra? All right, here we go. Here's Hatterene. Now, this Pokemon, really underrated. You don't see it too often in raids, but let me tell you, this thing is great on not only support, but it can also attack too. But we're going to show you the support build really quick. Now, as you guys can see over here, the support build, the Terra type doesn't honestly matter, so I just grabbed Psychic. Right over here, Leftovers is going to be the entire item that you're going to be using for survivability. If you take a look at our stats, EV trained right over this way in none other than special defense and HP. Special defense is going to be at 335 with HP at 318. Very awesome. If you have an ability patch, I would highly recommend investing into this Pokemon because of Magic Bounce. It bounces all the status moves back at the opponent, so you're never going to fall asleep or get debuffed by any of those Leer attacks. So that's great. Now, here's the cool moveset. Let's take a look at this. So first turn, you're going to be using Light Screen. Obviously, you want to support the team and mitigate the special attacks coming at you. Life Dew is actually really good because that can heal the entire party. Like all 4 people, everyone gets 25% of their health back. So you can keep on spamming that. That is amazing. Right off the bat, you've got Aromatic Mist, which is going to be pretty fun. So if you notice that there's another Pokemon that is doing the main attacking, like there's a Flutter main or there is an Azumarill, you can actually choose the Aromatic Mist to boost their special defense, and like you're buffing them, kind of like a defensive cheer. And then, of course, what you want to do, another thing, maybe first or second turn, is you can actually use Nuzzle, which is just a very small, pitiful attack, but it paralyzes the opponents. Now, one of the things I mentioned earlier is that Hatterene has a massive special attack stat. Now, this is uninvested. 300, look at that. It's got 308 special attacks that just based off of level 100 stats. Now, that thing is going to be super strong, and it has access to fairy-type moves. So, if you want to mix up this set and then pretty much run it in like a modest nature, you can absolutely do that. So, yeah, pick and choose. Whatever you want with Hatterene, you could attack or you can support. Really awesome. And for our last Pokemon, here's an extra entry for you since you guys are so awesome. It's none other than Muck. Yeah, I know you guys are laughing at me right now. Haha, you're going to use a Muck inside a Charizard raid. What are you thinking, Abdallah? No one uses Muck. Well, guess what? I'm going to use Muck, and I'm going to be the best support role in the entire game. You better watch it. Check this out. Muck, level 100. Yo, I'm not even joking right now. We're giving him leftovers. Cool, great, awesome. Let's take a look at these stats, shall we? I EV trained him fully in HP and special defense. And of course, he's got, what did I give him? Careful nature? Honestly, doesn't even matter at this point. Just to boost his special defense even further. Ability stench? Doesn't matter, right? No big deal. But let's take a look at his moveset over here. Oh man, right, his moveset is so good. So the first thing right off the bat is going to be the ability to use Mud Slap. Mud Slap is so great because it does a pitiful amount of damage, but what it can do is it can continuously lower Charizard's accuracy. Do you understand what that means? Man, Charizard uses moves like Fire Blast and Hurricane, which have very shaky accuracy in general. If you can debuff him even further on accuracy, you're golden. Not only that, but Muck has the ability to use Acid Spray. Look at this. It's pitiful damage, who cares? But this also harshly lowers his special defensive stat. It's like using fake tiers. So if you have a Flutter main or a Gardevoir on your entire team over here, you can just use Acid Spray like 3 times at the very beginning and give them even more of support. Likewise, he has access to Screech, so he's kind of like Umbreon if you think about it. So Screech is going to be great for Azumarill attackers, or if you guys have any Grimmsnarls that are using physical attacks, use Screech 3 times at the very beginning and you're golden. Right over here, the last one is after you're done debuffing him with whatever special defense or regular defense, you can continuously use Helping Hand to boost your teammates even further. Man, taking a look at this, 414 HP, 328 special defense. Man, Muck is going to blow your mind. I'm going to use it and it's going to be so much fun. And there you have it. Now you guys are experts in everything Charizard 7-star raid battle. And now the Pokemon that you actually raised to level 100 and EV train, like I showed you guys over here, you guys can use them for raids in the future. These are amazing Pokemon that will definitely help you carry other players that may not have seen this video. So do me a favor, let's share this video to everyone that you know because we got to get everyone on board with this. We don't want to play with any liability players or any kind of Pokemon trainers that don't really know how to do this stuff. So let's spread the word. Why not? Anyway, let me know which Pokemon you guys are using for these raids. Did I neglect to cover your favorite Pokemon or a Pokemon that you think does really well against Charizard? Let me know the set in the entire description over here and we'll continue the discussion with that. Anyway, I'm going to get to work preparing for these Charizard raids. I'm going to be streaming it on my YouTube channel and we just recently got Twitch affiliate. So if you guys want to come on over there and drop a sub, feel free to do so. I'll see you guys on there. Anyway, have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for liking the video, and of course you guys are awesome for hitting that subscribe button. We're on our way to 1 million. Let's do it with your help and support. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.